Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is your host Carmina. You can also find me on my website yourstars.align.com, and today we are back with another video, and this time it's gonna be a more compatibility video, and we're gonna focus on human design first. So the protagonists of this video are two people that I follow, two people that I watch, and I find them to be both very entertaining, and they are kind of frenemies with each other. And these two people are Ru Paul and Willam Belli. So if you don't know who they are, a quick Google search will solve that, but I'm just going to tell you in a couple of words. RuPaul is an entertainer known primarily as being a drag queen, and he started out, a long time ago, but he became more successful around 2012 after his show Drag Race took off and drag queens became like mainstream. And then Willam Belli is an entertainer also. He started out as an actor and as a drag queen, but he's an actor as well. He starred in several TV shows, in some movies, and probably his biggest role, his most famous role, is that from the Star is Born movie. So how did these two people met is that Willam participated in season 4. I think it was season 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race, so he was one of the competitors. Willam expressed his admiration for RuPaul. He was reading his books when he was in elementary school, so yeah, RuPaul was kind of a role model for him. And Willam was actually eliminated from the show because he broke the show's rules. So RuPaul decided to eliminate him. This was the only time that a competitor was eliminated from the show like that. So that was kind of interesting. And Willam gained this, rebellious persona, this rebellious reputation. And Willam also is known for having spoken up about the conditions, about the way that the drag queens are treated during the show. Like, he demanded that they get a better hotel, better food, like better payment conditions and things like that. And also Willam and RuPaul have a common friend, Matthew Anderson. RuPaul and Matthew kind of fallen out for some reason or another. It's not exactly clear why, but Willam and Matthew are still friends. Matthew is quite ill at the moment, and a couple of months ago, William said on a podcast that he saw RuPaul on the street and he yelled at him like, "You should go pay Matthew a visit," and RuPaul said, "Fuck you," or something like that. So they are kind of on the outs. So with that introduction being said, I wanted to look at their human design charts and see how this relationship reflect in their human design chart. Okay, there are two people who are in the same industry. Okay, so here we see Willam's chart, here we see RuPaul. Willam is a manifesting generator. He has his sacral center defined, he has his throat center defined. So he's a person who burns out less quickly than RuPaul, because RuPaul is a projector. His sacral center is open, his throat center is defined from his identity center, not from his sacral, like the manifesting generators. And if we look here, we see that, okay, RuPaul has more defined centers than Willam. I'm just gonna quickly tell you, in case you don't know already, human design is a system that combines astrology, I Ching, the chakra system. It consists of 9 centers. These 9 centers that can be open or defined, colored. It also consists of 36 channels. These lines here, they can be red unconscious or black conscious or mixed. Here you have also a conscious and unconscious influence. And here you see the planets and the gates they are in. There are 64 gates that correspond roughly to the I Ching, 64 hexagrams. So first things first, let's think about their type. Willam, as we said, is a manifesting generator. He's used to doing things more consistently. He has a lot of energy to work. Sometimes, you know, I think the manifesting generators are the busiest because they have the throat, the defined throat, in order to be confident in what they speak, in their voice being heard, and also they have a defined sacral. So that shows a lot of consistency in work. While projectors and RuPaul as a projector has an open sacral, so he needs to take his time off from work, otherwise he can become like burned out very quickly. Willam has a lot more, you know, power to just soldier on and move on and work like a, you know, incessant work soldier. So RuPaul is a projector. All the projectors have an innate need to be recognized and invited in order to be effective. Okay, the projectors are the guides in this lifetime. They are the managers, the guides, but they need to accept an invitation for guidance. They need to wait and accept an invitation to manage and guide something. Otherwise, if they push forward without accepting the right invitation, they can come across as bossy, as controlling, and then they become bitter. That's their downside. So, you know, some projectors, because they have like some energy around them, they can be pushed and they can act like other types. They can act as manifestors and try to initiate things, and then their spirit gets broken inevitably, or they can act like generators and just burn themselves out very quickly. So if you know RuPaul's biography, you know that he himself admits that he got his big break when Diana Ross invited him to work with her. So this is a perfect example of a projector. A projector, when he is just receptive and he accepts the right invitation, then they achieve the most success. You will see a lot of famous people being projectors because they were just open for the right opportunity. They were just open for the right invitation. Like RuPaul was when he accepted Diana Ross's invitation. And not only that, I'm sure, like, we don't know all the details in his life, but he got invited to collaborate on a lot of projects that became successful for him. So the signature of projectors is success. They are successful and wise in managing and guiding the other people. They have the ability to look at the other types and to see the light and to see the necessary condition in which the other types would shine. But they need to wait for an invitation in order to act, okay? So when RuPaul accepted that invitation, then his career took off. As for Willam being a generator, he still has to wait for a sign, okay? Because he's still a generator. He's not a pure manifester. Only pure manifestors don't need an invitation. They only need clarity from themselves. But manifesting generators have a gut feeling, an intuitive ability of finding out the signs and finding out what's good and where it's good to go in the world, okay? So that's really interesting for Willam. I'm also going to talk about the incarnation crosses, which are very important for every profile. They are the four angles. If we had like the charts where we could see the I Ching 64 hexagrams, it would be more clear. But I'm just going to tell you that Willam's incarnation cross is the left angle cross of the men's, and RuPaul's incarnation cross is the right angle cross of contagion. What that means is, for Willam, he has the drive to point out what is wrong with some things in the world and what is not working out in a certain situation or in society. Willam and people with this specific cross, they have the drive to demand that somebody takes initiative, somebody takes action and changes a specific thing. As I was mentioning earlier, Willam was the first drag queen that was participating in the show, that was very vocal about the things that weren't working there, about the way that the competitors were being treated, the hotels they were being checked in, the food they were being given, and even the compensation they were receiving. So the left angle cross of the men's is very oriented towards the collective, towards bringing a change in the collective, having their voice heard so that the collective benefits from it. There is this need to make a stand, to make a point. And the person can do it also by their own voice, but they can also do it with the help, with the support of other people. Also, Willam's profile is 5'1". This is the heretic investigator, so-called. The heretic is somebody who does things in a more out-of-the-box manner, okay? That's why it's called a heretic. An investigator, he has to try a lot of things out. He has to figure things out. RuPaul's profile is 2'4", and that is the opportunistic hermit. That's what it's called. So it's a person who really likes their time alone and enjoys their time alone, but when there's an invitation coming up, they become super social. Like when they receive an invitation to go out, then they forget they were ever home alone and they just love it. So I think this energy is quite excellent for the projector profile, okay? Because the projectors also intrinsically have to wait for the right invitation, and this profile 2'4" is also very geared towards accepting invitations. RuPaul's left angle cross shows a desire to experience whatever they desire. So it's an impulse to try out new things. The rest of the world will benefit from this energy, from their experimentation, whether it's good or bad. There is a tendency with this incarnation cross for them to say yes too often, not to know when to say no, not to put their boundaries, but I guess with time they also learn to do that. RuPaul has the 10 line. This is the line that empowers people. RuPaul's channel 10 here, see, it connects to Willam's channel 20 and also Willam's channel 57. So the 1020 channel can cause some very extreme verbal fights. So no wonder they were yelling at each other in the street, like in broad daylight, and cursing on each other. This channel can empower a person, or it can make them say really horrible things. So RuPaul empowered Willam, because Willam, when he was like 13, 14, he was already reading RuPaul's book. So it was his idol, and in that way he empowered him. But now that he met him in person, they also have like these verbal altercations. They also have, like I said, this 57, 10. It's a lot of desire, a lot of energy invested in making things perfect. It's a quite an extreme connection. So it's perfect or it's nothing. And RuPaul, I have to say, he also has this 30 line here. It's an unconscious line, but it's a very prominent line. Let's see what planet he has here in the 30. He has the Earth. That's what makes him grounded. The 30 line is a quite intense energy. It can drain other people around them because it's an energy that's very enthusiastic. It starts out as being enthusiastic and drawing people in, but then it doesn't maybe know when to stop. It doesn't know when to edit their words, and then people become drained with this type of energy. So maybe Willam you know, also experienced this in connection to RuPaul. So what's interesting is that they both have the 38 line, so they're both fighters. RuPaul has the full channel because it connects to this gate here, the 3824, so probably he's winning in the fights usually. Also, because RuPaul is a projector, he can come across as bossy, and Willam can't take that. He doesn't like obeying rules. It's also interesting to see that RuPaul has a defined ajna, so he has like pretty fixed convictions and beliefs. When we see that the center is defined, the person is not really flexible with these things. RuPaul is not flexible with his identity. He's not flexible with the way he communicates. He's not flexible with the way he makes sense of things. So he's a more fixed person than Willam. Okay, he has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defined centers, while Willam has only 4. Also, you see that RuPaul has a defined identity here. So he knows who he is. He doesn't want to change that. It's very clear for him. That's why it's difficult for him to be probably a good actor. I remember he was in a short recurring role in this series with Lily Thompson and Jane Fonda, and it was, I mean, I really tried to like his acting, but it was totally not believable. Because I think RuPaul can only play himself. When he's in drag, he doesn't change his voice. He said, he was also asked if he behaves differently. He says he behaves the same, whether he's in or out of drag. So he's very sure of who he is. He's very confident, so he doesn't need to make any adjustment to that. While Willam here, you see his identity center is open. He's better at being an actor because he can identify with other people. He's more flexible about what his identity is. And I think RuPaul is also a little bit more dogmatic with his beliefs because his ajna is here, it's defined, so he kind of like gets breakthroughs. He has some divine inspiration sparks that he makes sense of, but he's very rigid in that also. And RuPaul has been often accused of being pretty rigid about his beliefs, and recently about accepting other types of competitors like drag kings or transgender people to be in the competition more. So yeah, that's about it. We can see like why their personalities are clashing a little bit, why they are kind of frenemies. I'm also gonna be doing a video about their compatibility with cards, and I'm also gonna be looking at astrology, so watch out for those videos coming soon. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? Thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys again soon. Check out my website, yourstars.align.com, for classes, for readings, for getting this card deck that I designed. So I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.